Hey everybody, Mindlezz Gaming here, and welcome back to katawa shoujo episode, and this is episode 3. Yeah, 3. And Happy New Year, by the way. I hope everyone had a Happy New Year. I hope everyone had a good holiday. And welcome to the new year of 2016, and welcome to my first video of 2016. Sorry, my nose. And last we left off, I was just reading pretty much the entire thing. Misha and Shinju were showing me around. We were talking, more shit, and more shit. Pretty much it. So let's get back into it. Oh wait, Shinju and Misha pulled me towards the cafeteria, which is surprisingly not packed. Maybe some students' favorite eating in classrooms or outdoors. I saw some of my classmates had boxed lunches. After we finish eating, Misha picks up where we left off earlier. So, Hee-chan, you want to know what about clubs and stuff, right? Right? I'm not gonna do the voices, I don't feel like it. Right, Shinja. Okay, I guess I can make sense of who asked first. Well, I'm gonna try a little. Exchanging a little nod of confirmation, they turn to face me again, and Misha straightens her posture as if she's about to deliver a speech. Nisha, do you have anything you really interested in? I used to play soccer, but I'm not really into it. I don't follow the teams and players or anything like that. As of late, I usually just read a lot. There's a book club, right, Shinja? Right, but it seems like they all have the members they can possibly have right now. Sorry, Hee-chan, it's a really popular club. Probably because everyone doesn't know what to fucking do, so they just read. Okay, okay. But more to the point, Hee-chan, does this mean that you don't have anything already in mind? Not really. Good, great, that's great. Wait, Hee-chan, really great. Why is it great? No reason. Well, Hee-chan, other than clubs and upcoming festivals, there is one thing. Student council! I see. I don't know this school had a student council. That's very melodramatic setup, though, just to tell me that. I'm pretty sure the two of them know this, because Shinju looks a little embarrassed about it, and Misha is laughing. When is she not? Let me fix this light for you guys. It's probably blinding my half of the face here. Still probably blinding my face. There, now my face isn't blinding as much. Shinju quickly retakes control of the discussion in a matter of speaking. Even though she can't fucking speak. After all, it is still Misha who has to voice whatever she says, exactly. Right, right. Hee-chan, maybe you should join the student council. They could use more people. Yes, definitely. You should definitely join. Why? Well, for one, we could hang out every day. Hee-chan and Shinju and I are both in the student council. Actually, Shinju is the president. I'm starting to get the suspicion that Shinju and Misha might not exactly be the most unbiased people to talk about this with. As if reading my mind, Shinju quickly adjusts her glasses and says something to Misha. Of course, we're not trying to get you to join the student council because we would obviously benefit from you joining the student council and therefore have an inactive to try and get you to. So you're admitting that? No, we admit nothing. I mean, of course, it would be nice of you to join and we'd appreciate it. But even without all of that, joining the student council shows a healthy interest in the workings of one school. Yep, it's true, Hee-chan. Besides, don't you want to spend time with us after school, Hee-chan? Not really. Maybe later. I can't tell if she is being genuine or if this is just really good acting. Both of them seem to be trying hard to look their cutest, although they are already cute to begin with. At least he's admitting it. Well, so it's settled then. Welcome to student council, Hee-chan. Wait, whoa, no. Aw, see, Sinchan, of course it wouldn't go so easy. At least she's saying, like, at least she's saying it and not just leaving us out. Yep, that's right enough. Yep, that's right, though. It would be boring if it went that smoothly. Oh well. It's always be candy now. You were betting on it? Hey, my life is not a game here. Is it? Shinji seems to very intrigued by this. When Misha signs at her, the aggressive glint returns to her eyes. Waha, that's interesting, Hee-chan. Let's play a game. That's not what I said. How about rich man, poor man, Hee-chan, if you lose, you have to join student council. No, absolutely not. Aw, why not? Well, because you two both have the same intensive, and therefore the same goal, which is to get me to join student council, right? Yep. Well, yeah, that isn't my goal, but what that means is that both of you can team up. I'll be at a clear disadvantage, so I'll have to decline. Hey, Chan, I am very offended. Are you saying you don't trust us and that we could pull something so disingenuous? I don't even know. That makes me sad. Sorry? It's hard to tell where sensu influence on Misha's thoughts begins. Yes, very. In order to atone for hurting a young girl's feelings, you should definitely join the student council. No! How about a game of paper football instead of rich man, poor man? Paper football? Yeah, it's a game that they play in America. In the America way. You make a paper triangle and then you try to shoot it past goalposts that the other player makes with their fingers. Isn't it cool? It's the ultimate form of competition between two, Hee-chan. And it's also played by elementary and middle school children, Hee-chan. Wow, that means it's a game that really separates the boys from the men. More like the boys from the slightly older boys. Anyway, I'm not going to play that either. Just the fact that you know about it means you're probably surprisingly good at it. yeah, that's true. How'd you know, Hee-chan? She's just frowns at Misha, telling me that she's probably wasn't supposed to admit so readily. I wouldn't say that I'm happily with their attempts to get me into student council, but I'm a little curious about what student council does here. I've never seen one I've never been on one before, or even known anybody who was a member, so it interests me. I was also kind of like Shinju and Misha, so maybe it would be so bad. Okay, Jet, how about Risk, the game of world domination? I don't know what that is. It's really fun, Hee-chan. You fight for control of the world, with armies and everything. Sounds like Shinju would be good at that. If you want to play, we can after school. Really, Shinja? We can play just for fun, Hee-chan. Shinja hasn't played in a long time, so if you want to, there are no strings attached. Bullshit! Well, okay. Okay, perfect. We'll see you after school in the student council room, then, Hee-chan. Wait, why there? Because that's where we keep the game. Wahaha! I glimpsed to them how much I don't like this, but it's more for show than anything. So in the end, I agree, but only after getting Shinju to acknowledge that I don't mean anything concrete, just by accepting to take a look around and play a game with her. Lunch ends and we go back to class. No! During afternoon classes, the long-haired girl comes back and sits down in her seat without a word. Again, no one seems to notice, or if they do, no one says anything. I want to ask Misha about it, but don't want to be too nosy. At the school, Shinju and Misha quickly find me in the first floor lobby and latch onto me, covering each flank in case I might try to escape. So I'm like, fuck. Fuck. I'm a little offended, but I've been considering it. Nevertheless, I'm a bit disturbed that enough people have made a break for it in the past that they are on guard. What's with the escort? This doesn't make me feel very comfortable. In fact, it makes me feel a little dangerous prisoner being transported to a cell. That's why I was kind of doing this. Aha, what's wrong, Hee-chan? That's right, we're just gonna go play the game of Risk, remember? Oh no, Misha. This all seems a little sinister to me. I start thinking what when we sit to play the game, they tie me down and torture me until I agree to join student council. Excuse me. Well, that's highly unlikely, but still, for some reason, it just seems like it would be so possible. Knowing them, yes. Getting to the student council room is as simple as turning 2 corners from where we started. What? That's it? This makes you guys being so on top of me seem a little silly. That's not true, Hichan. Says that when their life is threatened, people have shown the capability to pull off superhuman bursts of speed. Life is threatened. Exactly. When you're threatened, you'll do anything to escape. I want to beat the shit out of them. Her expression unchanging, Misha assigns something unamusingly to Shinsu, who makes a baffling face and puts her hands behind her back, looking pleased with herself. Pretty much like this entire look right here of Shinsu's. You can't see my mouse, my bad. I had to do Okay, it is getting my voice. Misha fleens, deafness, and hums cheerily. Stop that. I know you heard me. You have no excuse, unlike Shinsu. Shinsu opens the door to the student council room. It's a very plain, surprisingly decorated room, although it's quite large, maybe even a little larger than a classroom. There's a big table in the center of the center, surrounded by chairs and a smaller desk prominently placed in the back that I assumed is Shinju's. There's a few regular desks and chairs stacked to one side as well. Extras, perhaps? As from the tables and chairs, the room doesn't have much else to offer. Just a couple of filling cabinets, bookshelves, stacked with old school records and documents. Not much else. In fact, nothing else. This is a pretty bleak room. They couldn't at least put a potted plant in here or something, but the most noticeable thing is that the room doesn't have it either. It doesn't have other people. Are we early? No. What do you mean? No. Doesn't mean nobody else is coming today? The honest truth right here. Yeah, that's right. Before I manage to ask why that's the case, Shinju claps her hands together very energetically. Hichan, let's play Risk. Come on. You promised, didn't you? You have to. Okay. Do you want to know the rules? We can explain to you while we're setting everything up. While Misha is talking, Shinju takes out what looks like a board game from behind one of the filling cabinets and throws it on the table. Actually, it looks kind of interesting. Oh god, I've never played Risk, but I've seen the board. I'm like, really? After Misha spends a little too long for her liking running through the basics with a somewhat vague and confusing tutorial, Shinju cuts in and declares the game has started with a defensive motion, slicing arms through the air. Pretty much that motion. Shinju's aggressiveness is rubbing off onto me. I start feeling more competitive than I intended to be when I agreed to this. Oh no duh. There, move over it. Halfway into the game, I try to ponder how to defend against Shinju's assault from 2 fronts. She breaks my concentration by drumming her fingers on the table to get my attention. Hinchin, Shinju wants you to know what you are taking so long to make a move. Shinju also says that she will let you keep Australia if you agree to join the student council. I thought this was a game with no strings attached. Just the fact that she want to dangle that over my head as if offering, and as an offer means that she knows I care about the outcome of this game. And anyway, no. Shinju admires your fighting spirit and would be a benevolent director who will spare your people if you agree to join student council. It's only a board game. Here, let me do this. Flips the entire table. Oh, we gotta restart. How about that? You're so competitive, Shinju. No, really? You just realized this. She seems to take this as a competition. Yeah. I would expect the student council president to be a little more magnanimous. I have no idea how to even pronounce that. I'm just like Misha right there. What do you say? She doesn't seem to know what the word means or how it's assigned, so she pulls out a piece of paper and writes it for Shinju, who returns signs it back to Misha. Misha presses her index fingers against her temples, as if trying to physically imprint the word into her memory. Sorry if you heard echoes. I had my speaker going, too, so I got my headphones and the speaker going. So if you heard the background music, I'm sorry. I didn't realize it until I took my headphone off and heard it. Kind of scratching my ear. Suddenly, Shinju bursts into a fear of gestures. Misha looks daunted by the pace at her heated signing. Wait, please slow down, Shinju. Hichan, Shinju says you're going to lose. Tell her I will crush her crush her world with my rebellion. Okay. Her face. Those eyes of hers shine with a childlike mischief. She says you have no chance. If you keep playing that like this, you won't. No, you won't. So either way, this choice really doesn't matter. It's the same thing. You will fucking lose. It's a trap. It's smarter to play defensively. She has a point. Attack aggressively. They're both the same. Right here. So practically, you're gonna lose, but I don't really think there's like a difference between them. Besides, the main outcome, you lose. You lose to the point. So I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go head first and attack. She is either really mocking me or trying to trick me. I have nothing else to lose, so I might as well try something different. Maybe if I spread out my forces and try to control other territories, I can recope the advantage. Shinju seems to focus on conquering world nations, so maybe I can sacrifice my hold on continents to gain more small countries. It's worth a shot. A few turns later, I end up losing the game anyway. Shinju adjusts her glasses victoriously and allows herself to tentatively pump a fist in the air in celebration. I win, yay! There is no need to translate that. It was pretty clear. Very. Yeah. Wahaha, don't look so sad, Hichan. You're really giving it your best. That's what I thought. Sometimes your just isn't good enough, though. If anyone knows that, it's me. You did really well for someone who just learned how to play today. I'd feel accomplished by that. Hichan, you attacked Iceland and North America at the same time. That's a very daring move. Sincha is impressed. Iceland? Okay. So, apparently I attacked North America and Iceland. I would have went for... Well, Iceland's very small. I don't know why would you attack it anyway. But I guess Haisho had an idea, and I don't even know what he's talking about. The mark of great people is that they are daring, and that they can follow through. You already are halfway there. Isn't that great, Hichan? That isn't enough, though. Potential isn't enough. There is no point to potential if you don't take the first step. There is no point to that if you don't keep going. I want to see more. That's right, Shinchan. Don't. But that's so demanding. Shinjo leans forward, sternly looking a lot less playful, more like the serious person I expected her to start from the start. Hichan, would you like to join student council? Let it go! Please! Let it go! She really doesn't waste any time, does she? But it's only my second day of school, so I hesitate about committing to something so early. I haven't even taken a look at any other clubs yet, but spending time with Shinju and Misha doesn't seem like something I would hate. I still need more time to think about it before I decide for sure. Maybe. I'll go back to you on it. Genki-chan, but I hope you're not just saying that so we don't feel bad. Not really. Really? Ki-chan, if you're going to say that, you're saying that it's definitely the truth, and that there can't be anything mistaking it. I know, I guess. I should have my revenge for losing, at the very least. Shinji smiles at that in the mischievous way that feels like twisting the knife in the wound of my loss. I take a glance at the clock at the walls and realize I've spent far longer playing Risk than I expected. Sorry, I think I have to go. I wanted to go to the library. It's not closed yet, is it? Shinju stretches her head and gestures for Misha. How hard can it be to determine whether the library is open? There's a clock right there on the wall. It should be, unless the librarian is absent. I think you're right, Shinju. We think the library is open. It's on the second floor. Can't miss it. Do you want us to show you where it is? No thanks, it's okay. See you tomorrow. Bye bye. Oh, I forgot to mention, like, I'm not into the next chapter yet, but right now this chapter is just introducing you slowly to the girls, but it's just these two are the longest ones that you will meet. One flight upstairs and I'm running into problems. The second floor hallway is a carbon copy of the third floor one. Wide, of course, and plain like our only hallways could be. The problem is that the library's whereabouts are not as easily determined as one would think. The classrooms are marked with signs stating which class they belong to, but then there's a plethora or other unmarked rooms. Is the library one of them, or is it just somewhere down the hallway? I bet on the latter and chose my direction at random. After I turn around the corner, an unmarked room doors my attention because it's not closed. It's not open either, though, just barely ajar so that I can see it open, nothing else. It would make sense for the library's door to be vaguely open, and while this one is not quite that, it's good enough. At the very least, it seems that someone is inside. I can ask for directions, no matter how embarrassing that is. I gingerly push the center of the door with my fingertips, every muscle in my arm ready to pull back at a moment's notice. That's pretty much what he's doing, just going. The feeling of being an outsider to the school can't be shaken from my mind, so much that I instinctively feared doing something wrong by entering. Called it. The door slowly creaks as groaning from a deep sleep, though it is much easier to open than I anticipated. Leaning over and poking my head ever further inside the gain sight of the room as fast as possible, the meek hello on my lips quickly snatched it away. Whoosh. Hi, pretty lady. This is one of my coworkers that Matt got into the game. This is his favorite character. This is not what I was anticipating. I might say let the door open to its full extent, taking in the sight of the solitary figure taking center stage in the otherwise abandoned room. The situation steals my voice, leaving me standing in the doorway staring at the beautiful girl. Eventually, having taken her time to assess the situation, the girl gently puts down her teacup and opens her eyes, but doesn't look at me. Hello there, may I help you? Staring directly in front of herself, the movements of her lips seem to break as rather silence towards the world. However, it's the soft, measured voice that reminds me she is being separated from the room itself. Not only is she likely the tallest girl I've ever laid eyes on, but even among the foreigners I've met, she's strictly distinct. Hi, sorry for intruding. I just kind of lost. He takes a moment to formulate a response before speaking. Every action she takes feels like as if carefully choreographed beforehand. Care to take a seat? Unexpected, considering that I am intruding upon her. Thanks. I slowly step towards her, another seat opposite of her. The girl is resting the teacup and saucer on the wooden table in between. The way she doesn't track my movements with her head is telling that, and the slight cloudiness in her eyes means she must be at least partly blind than Kenji. Come to think of it, her voice doesn't have any detectable accent either. I guess she must be half Japanese. As I take my seat, her composure takes me slightly off guard. Her Her air of relaxed confidence makes the silence entirely comfortable. The calming atmosphere is so different from the student council office. I take it you're a new student to Yamaku. I think that's how it's pronounced. Yamaku. I'll let someone correct me on that one. Yeah, I just transferred yesterday. I get the distinct feeling my speech patterns don't match the formality of hers, accentuated by her resented bow greeting. One which I hesitate to match before realizing the futility of the action. I'm Lilly's tattoo. Pleased to meet you. Haisho Naki. She gives me a nod before gesturing roughly to the direction of her teacup. Would you care for a drink? Sure. As much as it pains me, I can't keep step with her formality into the proceedings. Excuse. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Oh, it's fucking noon and I'm tired. She gives me a nod, taking the request in stride. Without another word, she steps off the chair, prepares a second cup of tea from a collection of supplies laid out along the shelf. A brush here, a brush there, her left hand often lightly touching the side of whatever container she's pouring it into. It seems to be a process she follows dozens of times before. As I lean sideways to see around her back, she seems to use her long, dainty fingers to measure the right amount of water in the cup. It's one thing to see the different disabilities the students in my class have, but it's quite another to see how everyone attempts to adapt. Sinzu and Misha have no problem working together to communicate to me, and Lily herself seems to have workarounds for problems I've never thought of. While I feel slightly guilty about her doing the work, she seems pleased to be following the correct process of the preparing the drink. So, her soft voice brings me out the slightly aberrance. Which room are you looking for? It's not often that classroom is visited after school. The school library. Shinju and me, some classmates told me it was on this floor. She finishes pouring water into the teacup as she nods, a small metallic tapping from the teacup indicating being stirred. I'm aware of Miss Hamiki as are most students. To be with them means you're in class 3-3. No? That's right. I'm in the science room with Mutu. She gives a small giggle before setting down their teaspoon and slowly walking towards the table, teacup and saucer in hand. He's quite a character. I imagine you'll come to like him. Most do. I love how most of when you first meet her, it's just picture drawn. I love it. I love how the characters are drawn. At least you get to see what you look like too, even though you already got to stall what you look like at the beginning. But I like how it's all nicely shadowed, drawn. I'm blown away by the art. I really am. That sets down the tea. What time is that? Okay. I gently take it and have a sip. I am really more of a coffee person, but this seems like a rather bad moment to bring it up. Nonetheless, it smells quite nice. I hardly think of it to be hard to choke down. Thanks, Satu. It tastes really nice. She smiles and quickly waves her hand in front of her face. Lily, please, there's no need to be too formal. She says this in spite of exerting well-breathed speech. Oh well. Oh well. I guess I should try to ask her about herself, as it really does seem as if she's catering to me. So which class are you from? I imagine it's one of the third-year classes. Correct. I'm in class 3-2, which is on the third floor, same as yours. It's taught by Maggie, and it is specifically for both blind and partially blind students. So Kenji is in the same class as her. I see. So sorry. I feel like slapping myself for the fox pass. Looking at her face, though she doesn't seem it in the least bit pit off. My, there's no need to change your speech on my account. Sure, sorry. I guess I'm really showing my newness here. An environment like this would be a big change, so I can't fault you for it. While the same can't be said for everyone. Many have come to terms with their conditions. A category which would include her, it seems, all too ready to jump ship for the particular topic. I say you for another. Do you come here to drink tea often? It's a really nice place. Thinking at it, this might be her vision of the place behind my school that I like to eat lunch at. I come here fairly during lunch sometimes. My duties as class representative don't leave enough time for an official club, so a friend and I use this room for having tea. My favorite person, too, is that other person. Class representative, huh? Compared to Shinju, her mannerism seems to be almost completely opposite. While Shinju's blunt and fiercely calm, Lily seems relaxed and calm, almost aloft. Come to think of it, she might be useful for a less biased view of schools to clubs. What kind of clubs are you there to join? The more popular ones are the track and field club, which used to field near the school during lunchtime, the baseball club, the book club in the room near the library. Are also numerous small ones though, such as the art and music clubs. At a time when I just wanted to get my feet, rushing into a club right away seems slightly unappealing. I wonder if the school shares the same rules as my old one. Is it compulsory to join a club? If I got that wrong, sorry. It isn't, though it isn't encouraged. Ah, good. That's a relief. I really let down my guard around this girl to let such a thing slip out. The fact seems slightly amuse her. Not wanting my tea to get cold, I finally start drinking. It is as Louisa does the same. As I look over the window, over her shoulders, I notice the light coming into the room has a slightly orange tint. Even here, the time doesn't stand still. The time's gone quickly. Sorry? Right, she's blind, of course. She can't see the sun setting. It just looks like the sun is starting to set. It seems to come to a surprise for her. I guess she must have lost track of time. Sorry, Haisel, I didn't mean to keep you from the library for so long. I quickly move alive her concern. No, it's okay. The library's still open, isn't it? She pauses, takes a moment to think. It's probably something I should have asked Shinju when I had the chance, but Lily seems likely to know in any case. True, it's open until 6:30 during weekdays. A quick glance at my watch confirms that it is well enough time to get there. I might get going in the case. It's been nice talking to you, Lily. She smiles and gives me a deep nod, her hand still neatly folded on the table in front of her. It was my pleasure. Oh, come to think of it, shall I show you where the library is? I couldn't possibly ask for more help. I should be able to find it if it's alright. Well, unless my navigation skills fail me, which they seem to have been doing. It's alright. I was going to be talking to the librarian there in any case. I could introduce you. This gets better and better. It's pretty hard to deny her offer. If you're sure, then it'd be great. Thanks. As she stands up to follow me, she takes hold of a straight retractable cane that has been slipped in the handle of her bag on the floor. Compared to the cane the boy in my class had, since it looks more thinner and longer, his must be for support, whereas Lily is for navigation. Nah, really? Together we leave the peaceful room and enter the empty hallway of the way to the library. Side by side. Actually, let me start here for a sec, guys. Oh my god. I think I'm gonna end it here. But I do want to make a note to something. I am planning to make an RPG. I just recently bought me an RPG maker off Steam, and I kind of need a little help. I need a story. So if anyone wants to give me a help on it, on the story based. Let me know. Send me a message over YouTube. Send me a message. Email me. I'll leave my email in the description below, and I'll leave a description. I'll leave the download link again to the website. And I really hope, if anyone who does help, I will give credit to them in the RPG. I'm not sure if I want to make it long or short, but it would be something, and I do hope that people will come to help join me and help me make it. So thank you guys for joining me in this episode, and hope to see you in the next one. See ya.